How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Roblox. They do have earnings that is coming up, and there has been some recent press releases that I want to share in this video. And also I've been getting questions saying, hey Dre, what are your thoughts going into earnings? So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to put a video together because I am playing options on it as well. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Roblox. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $66.81, being down 4.45%. On the low, it tested $65.75, and then on the high, testing $72.21. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 21.78 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 23.685 million shares. So one thing that we noticed right away, we did have below average volume on the day, and we did see quite the pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 42.07. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 50-day, the 100-day, the 200-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So we did notice quite the pullback inside of the tech sector, and Roblox was impacted. As far as for the low where we tested, it was right around $65.75, and we ended up seeing a high of $72.21. So going into Monday, especially since they do have earnings that is coming up on the 15th, so that will be on the Tuesday, I'm going to be looking for some momentum to pick up. But again, we need to see that strength in the market, especially when it comes to tech. I want to make sure that I emphasize this. So if we do end up getting that strength, then I'm actually looking for Roblox to turn this around and then make that move going back to the $70 level. I think this is very achievable, and then going into Tuesday, I should be able to see some price action above 70. This is just what I see from the stock. Right now, it does look bearish since it is trading under all of our major moving averages, and I'm just kind of looking to see, hey, will there be some hype going into earnings on Tuesday? We're definitely going to have to see about that. But for what it looks like, Roblox is in an area where it has shown to have some support. If it does pull back, it could go down to right here around 64.40. So for Roblox, it's going to be an interesting week, and let's see how well they do. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Roblox. So when we see green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So you can see here from the recent filings, we're going to take a look at the ones that are the most notable due to the fact that there's a lot of filings for the 11th, all right? So as we can see here, we have China Universal Asset Management that purchased 16,000 shares. Going down even further, we have B. Meltzer, Seal, Sun & Co. that purchased 10,672 shares. We also have Prudential PLC that purchased 42,720 shares. Scrolling down even more, we want to see 10K or above. So we have Atika Capital Management LLC that purchased 277,000 shares. We go down, we also have Alpha Family Trust that purchased 19,800 shares. We also have Lord Abbott & Co. that purchased 677,368 shares. We have Leverage Partners Absolute Return Fund SPC that purchased 10,000 1,000 shares, just a little bit over that by 1 share. And that's about it for February the 11th. And also what I want to show you guys very quickly to show how institutions love Roblox, we could see as far as for January and as well as February, we see an increase. And again, the buying just continues for this stock. And now when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 59.70%. And then for the dark pool short volume, it is just over 7.73 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 10 million, updated 1 hour ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 0.25%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 10th, it was at 62.45. And then for the close of the 11th being at 59.70. So what we know right away, Roblox does have short squeeze potential. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Roblox. On the inflow, it's at 324, and then on the outflow, it's at 433. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large, it was 19.54. On the medium, it was 256. On the small, it was 48.99. And then for the outflow side on the large, it was 22.05. On the medium, it was 359. And then on the small, it was 52.34. Keep in mind, these numbers are in the millions. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for February the 11th, it being that negative outflow of 2.51 million. And we also did see on February the 10th being an outflow of 2.02 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the large, which represents whales, institutions, or funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 3.76%. Not too bad of a range for a stock like Roblox. It is volatile, it is a growth stock, and we've been seeing a lot of weakness inside of the tech sector as of late. And it does garner the attention of traders, and with earnings that is going to be coming up just in a few days on February the 15th. So now let's go into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Roblox in regards to the price action, if we see weakness inside of the market like we saw on the Friday, it could pull back to $64. If we end up seeing some strength, then I want to see it actually make a move going to $70, and we already know it can start gaining some steam from there, especially going into earnings. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it has a lot of short squeeze potential. So this is why I say if there's a lot of buying pressure that comes into this stock, it could get very interesting. And then when we took a look at the recent institutional ownership, you could see the big dip that Roblox had. Institutions were loading up on shares. No surprises there, Roblox does get a lot of attention, and we know it's also one of Nancy Pelosi's stocks. In regards to earnings, here's my thoughts on it. What we want to look for is growth in revenue, being able to beat their prior numbers. And this is very key, especially when we're factoring in the holidays. One thing that's also noticeable about Roblox, it is a very sticky game. They want to see how much time are users spending on the platform, the amount of money that's being spent on the platform per user. And now on top of that, we have to take into consideration their cash balance. They do have a lot of cash. I think it was around 1.9 billion the last of them, especially since they are a growth company and they are losing money. We want to make sure they can keep themselves afloat. So we're going to be getting updates on that and so on, seeing how the cash burn is and just seeing what the growth factor is looking like. If they end up underperforming in regards to revenue, then I can see this stock pulling back. But if they can have a revenue beat and then follow that up with great guidance, this stock will take off. And that's one of the reasons why you guys want to make sure you do your homework and you do your due diligence if you're going to be jumping into this play. We know the environment that we are in, companies, when they're announcing earnings, if they have weak guidance, that stock is going to get slaughtered. And before I close this video out, the most recent news to come out is that Roblox has a partnership with the NFL to help with their metaverse presence. I think this is very huge and is going to pay off big time, not only for the stock, but also for the company. Like I've been saying in my previous videos when I've talked about Roblox,
they have a lot of growth potential, and it's why you want to do your homework, do your due diligence, and see if this play would be right for you, whether you're looking to trade it on a consistent basis or you want to actually build a long-term position. You can't go wrong in either spectrum because it has a lot of volatility and the stock does get a lot of attention, and I feel it is a great play, especially if you're interested in some metaverse exposure. So that is pretty much all I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.